red lights are running, the volume controls are on, and this episode is brought to you by the collective incompetence of Microsoft and Comcast.
I'll toast to that.
Welcome to the new 2017 editions of Geekamole. This is episode 54, I believe. This is our Games Week. And we have some very quick hit notes we're going to just plow through real quick this week.
Yeah. I would like to say a very, very quick word concerning last year.
It sucked.
I always try to have a maxim, a sort of motto. I reflect upon the year that has gone by. I look at the ashes of what has been and try to glean therein some sort of jewel of wisdom from which I can derive a better living for the next year. So without further ado, the thing that 2016 taught me was, let's never do that again. And good riddance.
And David
God damn it, 2016, you took Princess Leia.
And gender-bended David Bowie looks like Lady Gaga.
Yes.
That is also what he learned.
Yes. That's true. Go look at my Tumblr, vorpalmusings.tumblr.com, if you want to see the picture. A gender-bent David Bowie looks almost exactly like Lady Gaga, which makes me think that David Bowie didn't die. He was on the run from time cops, and he traveled into the future and assumed a new identity. It makes perfect sense.
Sure. Into the future to do this.
Into the future, yes.
Okay. Right on. Okay, so let's get this little shindig rolling. And first up, I get to go first because Mouse likes to close the show early occasionally. So
you're never gonna let that go, are you?
I think we'll probably end up swapping it so that on game times you get to close, and on media days I close. How about that?
Works.
So that way we make it fair. All right. So Nintendo. This is about the recently released mini NES thing, which had the 30 games installed from scratch, and there was theoretically no other way in the universe to ever change anything that was on there because this is Nintendo and they own you. But Russian hackers,
of course,
just gonna say, Anonymous and the rest of y'all, you better step up your shit. I'm telling you, because the Russians are doing all the things.
I mean, honestly, they're like, at this point, I feel defenseless. Anonymous is not going to defend us if we ever get into a cyber war with Russia.
No, I'm sure they'll do things, but they're secretive about this stuff, so we don't get the big reveals. But apparently, as revealed on the, I believe, Russian Reddit, a hacker named Mad Monkey learned how to hack a way into... I'm not going to go into the full details of how it happens. It involves some program called HackChi, and supposedly there's a sequel called HackChi 2. But apparently, you can hack the NES, the new mini NES, to have currently as many as 60 of the original games. You just have to be able to get in there with your computer and do things. Now, the reason I'm not going to go into the full details of this is because number one, it's hacking. And I would probably explain it wrong anyways. And number two, you have the... Well, truthfully, let's be honest. I'm not much of a hacker. I'm at the point I buy software because it's just easier. But, I mean, you're going to have your traditional, your malware, Trojan, and all that kind of warning, because...
Because hacker.
This is hacking, and even if it is legitimate code... computers go, hey, wait a minute, this is doing something with ROM and BIOS and crap, and I don't think that's good. So there's your traditional stuff. But apparently it does seem to work. Like I said, they have gotten as much as 60 games. There is no known limit yet on how far they can do it, but they have apparently gotten various other games that are not sold with the mini NES to be installed and work straight from the game, straight from inside the console. So, we'll see how long that lasts before Nintendo gets their, little claws into them and does horrible, horrible things to their, systems.
Do everything.
Do all the things. Loved. But that's a thing. And moving on to Mouse.
So talking about doing horrible things, Platinum Games created this subpar Ninja Turtles game called Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles Mutants in Manhattan. Now, these are the people who made the stellar Transformers games. So it was a huge letdown. They received terrible, terrible reviews. Well, it has been only 8 months since it was released, and the game is no longer listed or available for sale on PlayStation Store, Steam, or Xbox Game Store. It's not available anymore through the Humble Bundle Store or Amazon, but you can buy physical copies. I don't know why.
Are you running a roll of lifesavers? What are you doing there? I just hear this tearing of paper. I'm like, stop.
These are not the we don't quite know why this has happened. Some people are thinking maybe it's an expired licensing deal. This is kind of what happened with other Activision titles, such as The Amazing Spider-Man and The Amazing Spider-Man 2, which I was able to get off Steam before they pulled that crap. But so far we...
Was Platinum the one that they pulled every license? I remember seeing something about this last week.
It was the games that were Activision published, but I have not seen any other games by Platinum being retired.
Yeah, because some studio literally pulled every licensed game.
Really?
I wanted to go grab it, but I'm like going, I don't remember where it was. It was last week, and I didn't grab it when I was thinking of grabbing the news for this week, and unfortunately, I just didn't have time to go digging that deeply into my Feedly, so.
I have not heard about that at all, so this will be research for the next games episode. But yes, we do not know why the game was pulled. So Activision has not responded to requests from RPS, from Polygon, Gamasutra, whatever. All of these outlets have been trying to get a quote from them, but they mum's the word. So. Not that we are really missing anything, because the game was truly terrible, but I mean, it really was.
Speaking of which, I still need to get Pokemon Uranium from you.
I have it.
Sorry, Nintendo.
Yeah, sorry, Nintendo.
We're allowed to trade things between ourselves.
Yes, I hope.
You can't control what we have.
If someone comes to arrest me, I'm gonna blame you.
Just pretend you accidentally deleted it.
I did. I accidentally deleted it.
Oh, what a bummer. I guess I can't get it now. Are we done with Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles?
Yes, and you attempting to incriminate me for something I haven't done.
Next up, Injustice 2. For those who are eagerly anticipating the forthcoming sequel installment, whatever you want to call it, to this franchise, they have officially finally announced their release date. That will be May 16th. So that will be coming to PlayStation 4 and the Xbox One. Yeah, Xbox One.
PC?
Huh? No. It didn't say PC. Eventually, well, as with all things that go to Xbox, it probably will end up on the PC eventually.
5 years later when nobody cares about it.
Well, you know. But yep, this was all confirmed by NetherRealm, so keep your eyes open, and I'm not going to bother going into the character roster because that's kind of been pounded into the dust.
Yeah, like, hooray, another out of characters DC game.
Well, let's wait until they start announcing, they get desperate at the end like they did with Injustice, start announcing the characters that come from outside the DC universe.
Yeah, I know. I was bummed because they killed Beast Boy in Injustice with a nuclear bomb for...
Well, that's only one world. Remember, Injustice merges two
No,
worlds.
that's the reason why. Well, they didn't want him in the game because they said that the sheer amount of different model work that would go into actually having a 3D Beast Boy was just ridiculous. So they decided that he was one of the Titans who would get killed in the nuclear explosion, along with in the Injustice universe.
Yeah, that's why I say the Injustice universe, but that doesn't mean in future.
Along with Bart. So I don't know. When it was first announced, I was like, "Oh, maybe you could get to play Beast Boy. You get to turn into a gorilla." But no, alas.
Well,
the only Titans we get to play are Mopey Trigon Raven, and why the fuck are you joining with? Oops, I swore.
You did.
Why the hell have you joined? Why the hell have you joined Superman Cyborg?
Who knows? Like I said, if this keeps going, as they develop more models, eventually they might go, "Oh, look, we've got like the entire animal kingdom here."
No,
Anyways,
no, they're going to go to Poster and download all of the animals and just tint them green and give them like crappy animations.
it could work. Truthfully, all they have to do is start with Vixen and then do the superimposed images, and then work their way from there.
From there,
All right, moving on to your next topic.
Tokyo
Wow, that's
42.
That's not the next topic.
No,
No,
let me take a quick look at the.
Rime is your next topic.
All right. I put my notes out of order. Developer Tequila Works recently revealed that their game, it's a single puzzle adventure game called Rime, which was originally meant to be a PS4 exclusive. It's no longer exclusive. It's going to come to PS4, Xbox One, PC, and the Nintendo Switch.
Go
Yeah.
on.
Well, no, I just thought of something, but I can't say it after I swore already. But the game is slated for a May 9th release, and apparently the PS4 and the Xbox version of the game are going to be $29.99. The physical version for the Nintendo Switch hasn't been announced yet. They're not listing, retailers are not listing a lot of Switch games until the January event, which is on January 12th. So that's when we might look at some of the Switch announcements. If you look at some of the screenshots for Rime, it sort of looks like what would happen if, say, Journey, The Legend of Zelda, and Ico had a bastard child. And it looks gorgeous. Honestly, I am tempted. The aesthetics are gorgeous, and I love puzzle games. So maybe I will get it when it comes out for PC, which has not yet been announced for what the release for it will be.
So you're basically saying you'll have a rhyme and a reason, or a reason for rhyme.
You see this face?
I
See
do.
this face. This is how much that hurt. It was so bad. Flames.
I bring the
Side of
pain.
my face.
That's why I'm here.
Flames on the sides of my side of
Flames,
my face.
flames on the side of my face.
Anyways, let's go on.
Moving on, Landmark. Where do I begin? EverQuest Landmark, or just Landmark now, was meant to be this promising adventure in game development where the player base could actually build and contribute to this MMO universe. And then it got pared down to where it couldn't be done live, but they could do it in advance, and then it could be approved and things be incorporated. And now, F it all. Because February 21st, 2017 at 4 p.m. Pacific Time, Landmark servers, forums, and social media platforms are going bye-bye. Yes, Daybreak Games is sunsetting. Haha. Well, not the whole... Well, they're sunsetting Landmark itself. The whole game's...
It's Sony's fault.
So, you can still play Landmark if you own it already. At least until February 21st. There will be no authorized other way to get to the game. They do not authorize non-official servers. There will be no emulators. Anything you want to buy in the store has been reduced to 1 Daybreak credit, or whatever the hell they call it. Daybreak Cash, I guess. But you can no longer buy the Landmark program or any of that stuff. But if you have, Daybreak Cash in your wallet, you can still spend it on other games. Just not this one come February 21st. So,
This is why I don't do MMOs.
Get your build in, or move to Minecraft. Next. Now you can talk about Tokyo 42.
I am?
You are. Otherwise, I'm just going to continue.
Token 42 is a game. Go. No, we just got.
Thank you for that insight.
So-
Mouse, the Nostradamus of video games.
So Token 42, which was developed by Mode 7 and Smack Games, it harkens back to the old days of Grand Theft Auto when you had, before you had, I believe Grand Theft Auto 2. Then you have a very, very large field of view. You have very tiny protagonists. It's kind of like if Syndicate and Grand Theft Auto 2 had a child, this game would be it.
What is it with you having all the games having sex?
Games have to have fun too.
You're just sending all these little bastard children video games out.
Well, that's what it looks like to me. If you look, okay, actually, I lie. Because what if Syndicate, Hello Kitty, and
now it's a threesome.
Grand Theft Auto 2 had a threesome, and that created a child. It would be Tokyo 42 because it's ultra violent. Well, it's very violent.
As all Hello Kitty titles are.
And it has very colorful, very, very bright tiles. And there's like Maneki Neko. I just improperly pluralized the noun. Sorry, Maneki Neko. All over the place. But the most recent trailer, well, it's kind of a playthrough, shows us that there are indeed many ways that you can clear a stage or get through specific obstacles. You can go the sneaky, stealthy assassin way.
If they're all dead, no one saw you.
Or you can go, or you can go the balls to the wall, guns out blazing, bullet storm, kill everybody and everything approach, which is probably what Drew will choose.
If they're all dead, no one saw you. It's just as sneaky.
No, but
maintain it's a valid strategy.
it's a very, very cool looking game. I want to play it. I want to order it. It's coming out sometime this year. We don't have a specific release date. PS4, Xbone, and PC.
All right.
Alrighty.
Moving on to our next topic. Me and my MMOs. Final Fantasy XIV, Realm Reborn. They have just released a trailer for patch 3.5, which is a continuation of the Heavensward storyline. This patch is called The Far Edge of Fate. Part 1 is scheduled to come out in 6 days? Yes, 9 days. Sorry. On the 17th. And it will include, as always, new dungeons, new storyline, new clothing, new outfits, new toys, all the things. Because, for unlike other MMOs out there, when Final Fantasy puts out new shit, I cuss too. Sorry. When they put out new stuff, they put out everything. They put out all the stuff. I could go into more details, but let's be honest, they tend to put out 20-minute long trailers for their patches. I was watching it going, all the things are coming. That's really it. So all sorts of things are coming. The second part of this patch is scheduled to be released in March. And their next expansion, Stormblood, is scheduled currently for June 20th, where you're getting new classes. But that's all I got for this. Next.
And speaking of classes, yes, just making sure.
He's on topic, ladies and gentlemen.
I am on topic. So, Mass Effect Andromeda is scheduled to release this March, allegedly. We don't know. We know hardly anything about it, actually. And
I know it takes place after the original storyline, like way after.
That's about it. We really don't know much about it. And we recently got a bit of a combat and gameplay trailer. One of the things that has Mass Effect fans, those who remain, in an uproar is the fact that they have done away with the sorry.
He's all choked up over it.
I'm getting verklempt. Talk among yourselves. I'll give you a topic. the Prince of Tides is neither about princes nor tides. But no, so Mass Effect Andromeda has gotten rid of the class system from the previous games. People are objecting because this, according to their perceived reactions, makes it so that it does away with the ability focus mechanic that a lot of people liked in their playstyles. It also looks like you can only have up to 3 abilities slotted at any one time. So these changes, we don't really know how significant they're going to be, but they have people worry about this sequel, and maybe the tentacles and the taint of Electronic Arts is
I'm
finally
sorry, you're talking about tentacles and taint?
taint as in corruption.
You don't put those two together.
The squalid.
Especially when you're talking about an alien title.
All right, so
Moving on.
the insinuating squalid corruption of Electronic Arts is finally seeping within what used to be a great bastion of games known as BioWare. Could be, we don't know. After all, we did see a trailer for Mass Effect Andromeda where the character Ryder had the most Botox face, let's put it this way. There's a section in the trailer where she's disarming a guard and she takes the weapon and she aims it at him, and there's this completely expressionless, dead, like 1,000-yard stare, and this.
that.
Go watch
right
the trailer and you'll see what I mean. It's the most. It's not an uncanny valley. It's like an uncanny canyon over there.
It's an uncanny vast plain.
So that is what. So that's the news for Andromeda. Maybe this will be the end for BioWare. Who knows?
And moving on to the alien theme, we're talking about XCOM 2, which is currently out. I have not played it, but I have been watching various streamers play it, including my favorite Cosmos RPG, because it doesn't hurt that he's named one of his soldiers after me, and he has psionic powers, and I enjoy that. But apparently, a group who had developed a very significant mod for the original XCOM was brought on board with the development of XCOM 2. And that particular mod was referred to as Long War, which really added a whole slew of things to the original XCOM. It actually made the game campaign much longer, added some perks, some additional MEC classes, some other items such as mission fatigue and other things. Well, they are currently working on, under the auspices of the actual developer, Long War 2. For as a free DLC mod that will be coming for XCOM 2 coming up. So everyone who is a fan of the original XCOM and the Long War mod is eagerly anticipating this, and it's going to be free, which is always a good sign. And that will make your campaigns longer. I know some people think sometimes it's too long, but there are those who are convinced that it's entirely too short. So keep your eyes open for this, and it should be pretty bloody cool. And what, you got something to tell me?
No.
Oh, okay. Whenever you do, the finger wag, I'm like,
like,
okay, I gotcha. Gotcha. All right, and our last topic of the day. Take it, Mouse.
So Rihanna Pratchett, known to most people as Terry Pratchett's daughter, and the basis for the character of Susan Stowe Hewitt, is also a writer in her own, what's the phrase I want to look for?
Right.
In her own merit, on her own merit. She has quite a few accolades under her belt, including the vindication of the character of Lara Croft as a bit of an intellectual, smart character with dirt under her fingernails, kind of like, a smarter Indiana Jones type character. with the reinvention of Tomb Raider and then the following sequel, The Rise of the Tomb Raider. However, Rhianna Pratchett has announced that she's not going to be with Crystal Dynamics anymore, so she will not be writing the third Tomb Raider game. She has said that she is moving on to new adventures, including the adaptation, the movie version of Terry Pratchett's book, The We Free Men, as well as writing the story for an independent game called Lost Words, which I had not heard about until I read this news item. And from now on, after looking at some of the things they have there, I can't wait for this game. At least for the concept they have. So, we say farewell to Rhianna Pratchett's stint as a Tomb Raider writer, and hopefully we'll get to see her in more games as a writing talent.
And is that it?
That's it.
I think that's a record for us. That's what, 20 minutes?
Mm-hmm. And let me say that I am very, very glad that someone with the last name Pratchett is still writing in this world.
Carry on, oh Pratchetts. All right, guys. Peace out, and we will see you next week with episode 55 and media topics, where we get to reverse the order. Haha. And if you haven't seen it, go back and look at our last two episodes, which were the best and worst of 2016. And there were some shockers and some not so shockers.
Yeah, I think we did that episode too early, considering what happened afterwards.
Well, we have to do it at some point. I mean, what do you want me to do? Move it to January now?
Well, yeah, but
it's not like we do two episodes back to back in any given day.
I know. It's like we did the episodes and then Carrie Fisher and Debbie Reynolds died.
Well, let's be honest. 2016 bit the big one.
Yes, it was. 2016 was something, all right.
It sucks, something catastrophic. So, anyways, that's all we got this time. Peace out, guys. We will see you next time.
See you next time.